Now that we've covered all of the basics for how to find a good keyword, and I've given you hopefully a good overall picture of the theory behind why you should choose certain keywords, and I've also given a few examples along the way. However, I want to do a deep dive now into good and bad examples of keywords. And the hopes of doing this is to give you more real-life examples, some more hands-on experience as you watch me look at keywords and kind of look over my shoulder to decide, are these good keywords or are these bad keywords? I really do think and hope that these specific examples will give you some more real-world experience so that you can apply into your own business. So here's basically how this bonus lesson is going to work. I'm going to just go back to this slide that you've seen in a previous lesson, this how to analyze the top 10 sites in Google, and we're going to use this basically as a checklist as we go through some of these potentially good or bad examples of keywords. So you know that there is a lot of criteria for picking a keyword that we covered. One of those things is search volume, and the search volume usually for a primary keyword needs to be 2,000 or more, so we want to keep that in mind. However, if you're targeting secondary keywords, the search volume may be as low as 50 per month. Certainly below the 2,000 mark is okay. So for most of my keywords here in these examples, I'm going to try to keep it above a search volume of 2,000. And then the other criteria here is it needs to be low competition in Google. And so we're going to use this checklist here for what we want to see in the top 10 results in Google. So let's go ahead and pull up some live examples right now. So I've just gone over to Longtail Pro and I pre-populated this list. I just did a quick search for very random seed keywords here. And so I'm going to dive into some of these and maybe add a few of my own to hopefully find a good keyword. So as I'm looking at these, first of all, I'm going to just click on one and let's walk through the checklist. So top of the list here. So here I've just pulled up the data for kitchen knife. If we look at the top 10 results, I'm going to follow along with this checklist here very quickly. We'll dive in deeper here whether or not sites with lower quality content or whether they don't fully answer the search query after we look at these other ones. So the first thing I want to look at is, are there sites not targeting the exact keywords in the title? And it's very easy to look at. The keywords are actually bolded in the title here. So we can see kitchen knives, chef's knives, kitchen knives, kitchen chef knives, kitchen knives, kitchen knives, kitchen knives. And notice that I'm looking at the plural the same as the singular. So it doesn't matter that they say kitchen knives or kitchen knife. It's really the same thing. Google is smart enough to understand that people searching for knife or knives are really searching for the same thing. So that is something important to keep in mind. Having looked at this, almost every single one of these results is targeting the specific keyword in the title of their page. So there is no weakness in the title. So that's strike one. No more than one or two root domains. So are any of these root domains? Well, as I look at these, I do not see any root domains, so that is a good sign. These are all sub pages, as you can see, cutco/products/ thumbnail, and then I'm sure there's a little bit more, kitchen knives. All of these are sub pages. At least two sites under a page authority of 30 and have low juice links. So let's take a look at that. Page authority, there is one, and it does have low juice links. There's two, and it does have low juice links. So we actually do meet that criteria, but there's still more to look at. A few low domain authority sites is preferred. So a few under 30. Let's take a look at that. I don't see a single site under 30 domain authority. So that is a strike. That is definitely a big strike. So all of these are very authoritative sites. I'm not seeing any weak overall domains. That's a bad sign. A few sites less than a year old. I don't see a single site under a year or even 2 years old. The youngest site is almost 13 years old, and it's Wikipedia. So, this is, I mean, I can already tell you this is not a good keyword, but let's finish up our checklist. 2+ weaker sites preferred, like Q&A sites or forums. I don't see any Q&A or forums or weak types of sites in here. A few sites like mine, so if I'm building out an authority site or an affiliate site and I want to talk about kitchen knives, preferably in the top 3 sites, I don't see a single one of those. These look like all e-commerce sites, I can already tell just by looking at them, that are selling knives. Keyword competitiveness is the sort of final check of 30 or less. It's not, it's 37, and remember, this goes up exponentially, so as it gets closer to 40, it's getting more and more difficult than as if it were below 30. It's a parabolic curve. It exponentially gets higher as it goes up and up. So this is definitely not a keyword. Way too many things that do not meet the criteria. I would never write an article about kitchen knife. Okay, so that is a bad example of a keyword. Let's find another one here, again, just on my list. Primal dog food. Let's take a look at that guy. So, primal dog food, you can see that it does get searched for 2,400 times a month, has a great CPC, so it meets that criteria, has high advertiser competition, which is good. But let's go step by step, because I do think this is so important, and hopefully you find these examples useful. So again, I'm going to start the title, or the keywords being used in the title. Primal pet foods, and you can see that the word dogs is there, so it's very very similar. Primal pet food, primal dog food, primal dog food, primal pet foods. So they're all using either primal pet foods or primal dog foods, and these are bolded so you can see that Google essentially is looking at these words the same. So they are all targeting the keyword in the title. No more than 1 or 2 root domains. So let's take a look at that. The number 1 result is a root domain, but that is the only one. So it's not terrible in this particular checkbox. At least 2 sites under a page authority of 30 and have low juice links. So page authority under 30, there actually are 2 sites, and they both do have low juice page links, although this one does have a lot of page links. So that's one good sign. A few sites less than a year old. I don't see a single site under a year old. That's a bad sign. 2 weaker sites preferred, like question and answer sites or forums. I don't believe that any of these, there is a Facebook page here, which that is kind of interesting, but it has a lot of juice links, high page authority. It's not your standard weaker type of site. I'm not seeing that. A few sites like mine. Again, I'm going to just assume maybe you're trying to build out an affiliate website, a standalone site here. I'm guessing Primal Pet Foods is a site that actually sells pet food, and it looks like it. So this isn't this is not an affiliate site. It looks like they are actually selling their own thing. They have got a pork mix. I can probably add that to my cart here. Boy, they don't make it very easy to figure out how to add that to my cart, but I'm sure I can here somehow. Anyways, this does not look like an affiliate website. So I just wanted to double check that one. Dog food advisor, again, I don't think that that is, you know, maybe this one is. I take that back. This very well may be an affiliate website. Let's click here for details. Looks like it's taking us over to another site. So this actually probably is an affiliate website. However, it's very authoritative. It's been around 7 years. I wouldn't really call it a site like mine because it's not newer. However, it is an affiliate website. So you have that. Preferably in the top 3 sites. And then the final kicker is the keyword competitiveness of 30 or less. It's at 38. Overall, I would not target this keyword. This is a bad keyword to target because, well, of all the check boxes we didn't check off. They're targeting, all the results are targeting the keyword very specifically in the title. The page authority is high on most of these. In fact, I think we forgot to mention domain authority specifically. I'm looking for 30 or less. I don't see a single one. So all the sites are very authoritative overall, and they're very old overall. They have a high site age. Those are 2 big things that, it's just hard to overcome. And I don't see a lot of weak types of sites. And the keyword competitiveness is confirming that decision for me. It's a 38. I wouldn't go after this keyword. It's not a low competition keyword. When your site is 7 or 8 years old, then maybe you can target that specific keyword. Okay, let's take a look at another one here. Best grain-free dog food. That's going to go ahead and pull up these results. And we're going to take a look at the exact same things. Look at the title of the page. How well are they targeting this keyword? The top 2 results definitely are. The third result pretty much is. This result here, dog food ratings, 9 dog foods to know. They're not targeting the keyword quite as well as they could. But most of the results definitely are. So there's 1, maybe 2 results that are not targeting the keyword as well as they could. No more than 1 or 2 root domains. I am not seeing root domains, so that's good. Page authority 30, juice links of 30. Page authority, that one's close here, and juice links are not there. This one, remember, we divide the domain authority in half, so that is under 30. So I do see a couple of results with that criteria: page authority under 30 and juice links under 30. So that's a good sign. A few low domain authority sites under 30. I do not see a single site. That's basically going to be a deal breaker, I'm thinking. Site age is telling me the same thing. We've got old authoritative sites dominating the top 10 results. Weaker types of sites, I'm not seeing that. I've got PetSmart, the same dog food advisor, which we know is an old authoritative site. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it when I quickly look at this overall results. I was actually hoping that this was a good keyword, but it just is not. There's no sites like mine. The KC is a 38. So I would not target best grain-free dog food as a primary keyword. Again, when I say this, these may be keywords you can write about, but these are not the low competition type keywords that you want to put all your time and energy into. Let's see if we can find one that you do want to do that. So here we are with best earbuds under 100. That's $100. And let's just run through this a little bit quicker. Are they targeting the keyword in the title? CNET is not very well. The rest look like they are pretty well. Where we're getting tripped up for the most part is on our domain authority. We're not finding weak sites. However, this one I actually am seeing 1, 2, and this one's a 33. So I am seeing 2 with lower domain authority, and in particular, these 2 sites actually are younger. So this one's under a year, and it's ranking number 2. So that's actually a good sign. Now let's kind of double check that with the page authority and juice page links, both under 30 here for the second result, 19 and 1. And this one has a 26 page authority, this favorable, and 8, and then the third one. So there's actually 3 results there that have a page authority under 30 and combined with low juice page links. And then weak types of sites is really going to be the kicker. So if this is an affiliate site, which I'm guessing it is, yes, it is. This is going to take me over to Amazon. So there are weaker types of sites. This is just a small niche website that somebody created. So that's one good sign. This favorable, let's see what kind of site this is. So this also looks like probably an authority website. It's an AdSense / Amazon affiliate website. But it looks like they've built this out a little bit more. So it's definitely a larger website, and they built out lots more content. So it's not the perfect, weak type of site like I want to see, which is forums and question and answer sites, but it is similar to the type of site that perhaps I might be building. So, and then the KC confirms that this is on the lower end of the spectrum. So this is a keyword that might be worth targeting. This is one that I would move cautiously forward with. This is a keyword that would be definitely, you have potential to rank. There's other sites that are young and weak, and there's a little bit of potential with this keyword. Are there better keywords? Of course there are. But this is one that is way better than the kitchen knife and primal dog food and that sort of thing that we were looking at. So this is a much better example of a low competition keyword. Now let's try some things to actually take a difficult keyword and make it a little bit easier by adding a modifier here. So let's say you have you have kitchen knife, and I want to add a modifier. Perhaps should add best kitchen knife. My guess is that that's still not going to do it, but we can pop that in there. Best kitchen knife. So you can see it does get searched for 720 times a month. I don't see any young sites, and the domain authority is still quite high on most of these. There is one low domain authority, and overall, it's a 33, so it's better, but it's still not one of those that I'm salivating over. I'm not super excited about it. So let's add another modifier. One of those that's on the cheat sheet is using the word under and then putting a price, kind of like we did on the headphones or the headphones keyword. So let's add a modifier of best kitchen knife. Let me spell that right. And then put under, what's a price? 100 or 50? Let's do $50 and see what that comes up with. See, now what we've done is we've got a keyword that is extremely low competition, as you can see. So best kitchen knife under $50 actually has an average keyword competitiveness of just 19. So it's very, very low competition. The downside is that it only does get searched for 10 times per month. at least according to this stat. However, if you're building out a knife site or a kitchen knife site, this is the type of keyword that you want to be targeting. Even though the search volume is very, very low, you'll find that you'll get traffic from related phrases, and often, as accurate as Google tries to be with their search volume, this could be trending up or down. And anyways, there may be more search volume there than meets the eye. So let's look at in detail why this is such a low competition keyword worth targeting. Let's go back to our list. So first of all, we want to see whether or not sites are targeting the exact keywords in the title. In this case, a lot of them are not. So as I expand this out so you can see it a little bit better, you can see best chef's knives, best kitchen knives. Most of them are not mentioning under $50. A few of them are 1, 2, 3, 4 results mention $50, but the rest do not. So the top 3 results are not even targeting the exact keyword phrase, and that's huge. So the stats as far as domain authority and page authority are significantly diminished because they're not even targeting the keyword. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's the reasoning behind why it's so exciting to not see these pages even targeting the specific keyword, because you can come in and just by targeting that keyword can potentially rank quite well. On the other hand, we also have some low domain authorities. 3topreviews.com has a domain authority of 10, and this kitchen knife forums has a domain authority of 28. So very low domain authority. 1 or 2 root domains. I'm not seeing any root domains. Let me just double check that's correct. 2 sites with a page authority of 30 and low juice page links. Let's do that again. Page authority. So again, a lot of these don't even have a page authority assigned, so we need to look at the domain authority and put that in half. So as we do that, already here at the top there's 1, 2. That's going to be bladeforums.com is going to be 3. 3 top reviews is going to be 4, 5. There's at least 6 sites with a page authority under 30 and also juice links under 30. So we nailed that. I already looked at the domain authority, a few sites less than a year old. I actually don't see any in this case. However, the evidence is quite overwhelming on the other criteria that we want to look at, so that doesn't matter quite as much in this case. 2 weaker sites preferred, like question and answer sites or forums. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on some of these sites. This is definitely a small, well, I don't know if I'll say small, but it's definitely more of an affiliate type site. It's mymoneyblog.com, and so it's not even a knife site. And so that's quite interesting, because I would say a site that is targeting the topic better is going to be more difficult competition. We've got a BuzzFeed article. I'm sure you're familiar with BuzzFeed. And so these are typically curated pieces of content, which looks like that is the case. So just short blurbs and then links to the knives themselves. So not particularly strong. I could go down the line here, but I do see a couple of forums, which is awesome. I see bladeforums.com, which is just your standard, hey, I have a question. What's the best knife under $50? Which is exactly what we are seeing here. And we also have kitchen knife forums and cheftalk.com, which I'm pretty sure are also just forums. yes for that one, and yes for that one. So 3 forum results in the top 10. These are really weak types of sites that are ranking. They have low page authority. They have, they're not targeting the keyword. This is an awesome keyword to target. It would be even more awesome if the search volume were higher. The overall keyword competitiveness is just 19. If you were, looking to target keywords, kitchen knife keywords, you might want to say, well, are more people, how can I up that search volume? Best kitchen knife under, you could say $100. Maybe more people are searching for that particular phrase. I don't know. I'm just kind of coming up with this off the top of my head here at this point. But you found sort of a formula, by using the best and under modifiers that might help you find a lot of great keywords in this niche. The search volume, again, is only 10 on this. But what I hopefully have shown you is the type of SERPs that you want to see, the type of top 10 results that you do want to see that have weak types of sites, that have very low keyword competitiveness, that certainly as you write an article about these very, very low competition keywords, you're going to rank quicker. And so I will make it very, very clear here that even though it only has local searches of 10, I do want to see higher potentially, but I would much sooner write an article on best kitchen knife under $100 that only gets searched for 10 times per month than I would some of these other keywords like primal dog food. Even though it gets searched for a lot, I'm not going to rank for it. So it's much better to go after low competition, even if it's low volume keywords, than it is to go after higher competition with higher volume. So overall, hopefully you found this bonus lesson helpful as I dove into specific examples of both good and bad keywords that you can target. So you can do that on your own with your own niche to dive into what you should be looking at, and then hopefully finding some great keywords that you can target. Thank you very much for watching.